Dun, dun, dun. Good afternoon. Um, Sorry, I'm feeling a little bit under the weather today, but I wanted to just go through just quickly something that's near and dear to my heart in logistics because it's my bread and butter. Really, it's where I got started. It's the different types of expedited shipping services within logistics. So, when it comes to expedited freight, there are a few different modes to utilize depending on the urgency of the expedited freight that you're moving. So, I want to just outline a few of them that I've had the opportunity of organizing throughout my last, 10 plus years in the industry. So, with that being said, the first one that I would like to mention is same day air charter services. Now, this is the most cost intensive service in the expedited world because it's a cost that's calculated with and measured by the cost per pound. So, air charter planes are set up and organized specifically to move freight. And the sizes vary from small propeller planes to large Boeing configurations, such as the 747 freighters that you see at airports. The next one would be the next flight out, and these would be your, considered your air freight services. So there's really two types of air freight that you're probably familiar with. I mean, this isn't new news for you, but commercial and cargo services. So with cargo services, it's just that the freight is moved specifically via the aircraft, and it's through cargo freighters that can handle such cargo shipments. And commercial services, those are the loads that you have freight that's loaded into the cargo hold beneath commercial planes. And cargo services are usually preferred by shippers, usually because it allows the shipper to do dock to dock or door to door. With the commercial counterpart, there's added steps along the way. So obviously the suggestion is work with some kind of combination of a freight forwarder and a freight broker, um, or one. I mean, you can work with a freight forwarder to handle the full door to door operation, and your freight forwarder will utilize the best options that to get your freight safely to final destination point. And then the one that's my bread and butter and really my lifeline is the next day ground expedited services or same day ground expedited services, depending on the distance between the locations. And so they move in different equipment. I mean, it's obviously freight brokers that have been in this for a while. This is absolutely nothing new for you. You have heard this a trillion times over. You hear it a trillion times a day. Okay, maybe not a trillion, but close. So you have cargo vans that move freight. Usually the capacity for the weight is around 2,000 pounds. But I mean, I've heard of cargo vans and utilized cargo vans that are over 2,000 pounds. And usually the skid spots allowed or capable is two, but sometimes there's the extended cargo vans that can carry more. The Sprinter van weight capacity is 3,250. However, I have seen more, of course, and then standard skid spots is three. And in terms of additional types of expedited ground equipment would be your straight trucks, and their capacity, I mean, standard is, when you talk to the carriers, they'll ask for the weight and they're comfortable with the 8 to 10 range, but the weight capacity is, you can see 12,500 pounds, and the number of standard skids is 10. And another one would be your dry van tractor trailer services, teams or singles. Now the weight capacity for those is, up to 45,000 pounds, and the number of standard skids is 26, possibly up to 30, depending on the skid and pallet dimensions. And also, Another type of service that you could see is hot shots. Now with hot shots, it's expedited services with class 3 to 5 trucks, and there's usually some type of obviously trailer attached to them that can carry this freight. And I've seen this type of shipping in Canada and the United States, where the energy industry, particularly the oil and gas, utilize such services to transport their freight. So as you can see, there's a few different sub modes under the mode of expedited transport. Again, my favorite is the ground expedited. However, I've dealt with all of the ones I've just mentioned. Again, this is nothing new to people that have been in this business for a long time. But for those of the freight brokers that are just starting out, this is something that you can definitely take a look at further and research on your own behalf in terms of finding out more about the different sub modes of expedited freight transport and see where you can possibly or potentially build a niche for yourself in your local area or surrounding region. Um, as mentioned, my region is heavily focused on automotive freight. So for me, the expedited mode has brought um, a lot of bread into my life, a lot of work into my life, and a lot for my family as well. The reason being is it's high responsibility. So if you get good at it and you get with the correct connections, you can definitely build a name for yourself in the industry. The main thing is to build the relationships. Again, reiterating a million times over relationships, and make sure you're very honest with people what you can provide, and give them several different options that may be best for you and your company to utilize. So that's all from me for the expediting services, shipping, and logistics. So, if this is something that you have found valuable, give it a thumbs up. If you have found it to be irresponsible or not up to par, you may give it a